Oh, hello, children. Oh, Storybook and I have a classic tale to tell. Are you ready? Oh, wonderful. So are we. The story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a rich merchant whose wife fell ill. As she felt her end drawing near, she called to her beautiful daughter, "Oh, my dearest, always be kind and good, and trust that things will work out. Take this locket and keep it close. It will protect you." Years passed, and the merchant remarried. His new bride and her 2 daughters came to live with the merchant and his daughter. The merchant was often away on business and entrusted his daughter's care to his new wife. Little did he know that his new wife and stepdaughters were very mean to his daughter. The stepsisters mocked her, while the stepmother forced her to attend to all their needs from morning till night. They even forced her to sleep on a pile of cinders, which stuck to her hair and clothing, and so they named her Cinderella. Poor Cinderella spent her days laboring away. Late at night, she would secretly take out her beloved mother's locket, which she kept in a secret pocket. She would open it and gaze lovingly at her mother's worn-out portrait and cry herself to sleep. One day, the king's messenger arrived and regally announced, "Hear ye, hear ye! The prince is ready to be wed! All maidens are summoned to a special ball at the castle, where the prince, by the midnight hour, will choose his bride." The 2 stepdaughters cried out with excitement, "Oh, I'm sure he'll choose me to be his bride." "You?" the other sister mocked. "Only if he's blind, he's sure to pick me." The stepmother interrupted. "He won't choose either of you if you don't go and prepare yourselves. Hurry now, there's much to be done. Cinderella, don't just stand there like a stump. Prepare their baths and bring out their new dresses. Move it!" The sisters barked out orders while their mother oversaw it all, making sure that her daughters were fit for a prince. Finally, they all stood at the doorway ready to leave when Cinderella whispered, "Can I go too, please?" "You? Go to the ball? Oh, we'd be the laughing stock of the kingdom. No, Cinderella, attend to your chores." And with that, the stepmother slammed the door. Cinderella dropped to her knees and burst out crying. Tears streamed down her dusty cheeks and down onto her ragged dress. One tear made it all the way to her mother's locket. The locket began to shake, buzzing with energy. Startled, Cinderella slowly took it out. The locket glowed brightly. Suddenly, it opened, and swirls of twinkling light danced about the room until finally a smiling old woman wearing a sparkling dress magically appeared. "Oh, hello, Cinderella. I am your guardian angel." Cinderella was shocked. But how? Shush. No time to explain. You have a ball to attend." And with a wave of her hands, rainbow sparkles swirled around Cinderella, transforming her appearance from head to toe. "Ooh, not bad. Take a look in the mirror." Cinderella looked and was amazed, especially by the crystal slippers she now wore. "Thank you. Oh, thank you so much." "That's what guardian angels are for. And now, there's only one little thing. The magic will wear off by the last chime of midnight. Now, go and have yourself a ball." A short time later, Cinderella arrived at the ball. When the grand doors opened before her, she stood in awe of all the splendor. Everyone immediately caught sight of her radiant beauty, and especially the prince, whose heart skipped a beat. He approached. It would be such an honor to dance with you." Cinderella blushed, curtsied, and replied, "The honor would be mine." The prince danced with Cinderella all through the night, deeply moved not only by her beautiful appearance, but even more so captivated by the light shining in her eyes. Finally, the music stopped, and the king stood up and called for attention. "The midnight hour is upon us." Cinderella looked at the clock, which began to chime, and gasped, "Son, have you made your choice?" "I have, father," said the prince. He then turned towards Cinderella, shocked to discover that she was gone. He saw her rushing out the door. "Stop!" he cried, and rushed after her. By the time he reached the steps of the castle, she was nowhere to be found. He then noticed something twinkling on the ground. It was her crystal slipper, which had slipped off her foot as she ran off. The next day, the prince set out with a small entourage to find his lost love. He went from door to door, having every maiden try on the crystal slipper. When he arrived at Cinderella's home, he was greeted by the stepmother and her 2 daughters. The first sister shoved her foot forcefully, even banging it into the wall, but as hard as she tried, it was too small. The other sister, realizing that the slipper was too big, tried to secretly stuff it with a silk cloth, but was caught in the act. The prince let out a sigh and walked out the door. However, one of the prince's aides caught sight of a woman clearing cinders out of the fireplace. "You there? It was proclaimed that every maiden is to try on the slipper. Come on!" Cinderella stepped forward shyly and slipped her foot gracefully into the slipper, which fit perfectly. Everyone gasped. The aide called out to the prince, "My lord, we found her!" The prince rushed back into the room and stood before Cinderella, and despite all the dust and grime, recognized the light shining in her eyes. To the great shock of the stepmother and sisters, the prince kneeled before Cinderella and asked for her hand in marriage. Cinderella felt the locket softly shake in her pocket. She smiled and said yes, and they lived happily ever after. The end. Don't you just love a good love story? Okay then, see you next time. Bye-bye.